If you think you got it, shove it out, run it up the flagpole and see who salutes it.
The guy cracks me up. Lemmy from Motorhead. I mean, he's very strong in his opinions.
I'm glad he cracks you up, because when we were shooting,
yeah,
he was a total brat.
Yeah, well.
Total brat, because, I don't know, I think he just looked at me like, what is this chick doing here? Because he said, why don't you come and be on camera with me? And I said, because that's not the way I do it. I'm off camera. I did the whole film off camera, behind the scenes. That's just the way it is, dude.
You know? Clue.
Yeah. And he said, well, if you don't like doing your job, why don't you get a job in a dry cleaner's?
Whoa, pretty harsh, huh?
He was harsh, but I could take it.
And it's fast and it's aggressive and it's rebellious and their parents hate it, which has always been the mark of good rock and roll. If your parents don't like it, it's good.
He's inspired so many people. Well, look at Megadeth, for instance.
Yeah, Megadeth. Megadeth is in the film. Actually, Megadeth is one of my very favorite bands, and they get pretty rowdy in The Decline. And here we go with Megadeth.
I'm in this business for the reason that Megadeth is in this business, and that's because of attitude, integrity, and music.
Do you want to live a lifestyle of a rock star?
Nah, that's megalomania to me. I don't want to get used to something that'll run out. I'd rather stay myself all the way and not ever get used to, you know, having a huge lifestyle, so that in case anything ever happens, like I lose an arm or something, that, you know, I have to get used to being a bum again.
We don't want to sit here and talk about all kinds of perverted sexual games we do on tour. We don't sit here and talk about drugs. We don't talk about a lot of the same old rehash stuff that bands keep doing over and over again in this business.
Yeah, I want to stay at a street level, because then I don't have any, you know, pretentious values in life, and I don't start writing music just for the dollar sign.
Megadeth has a spectacular performance in The Decline Part 2, The Metal Years. However, you gotta go to the movie to see it.
Two have said that Megadeth stands apart from the rest of the film's metal stars and wannabes with their straightforward, no-frills approach. We asked the guys what they think about their newfound reputation as the White Knights of metal.
I think we're more like the Dragon Slayer than the White Knight. A White Knight sounds like a date with somebody on a tour bus, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like...
The thing is, we didn't know what the movie was going to turn out like and what kind of content was going to be in the movie. We had no idea. So it wasn't like we were trying to show anybody up or come out looking better than anybody else. We just did what we did. We had no knowledge of what was happening, you know, with the rest of the movie or what any of the other acts were doing. All we knew is we were going to the country club to film In My Darkest Hour and talk to Penelope for about a half hour. That's it.
Megadeth's next video, In My Darkest Hour, is an excerpt of their performance from Decline. It will also contain interview footage shot for the film. Meanwhile, the Megamen have just completed their tour of Europe.
Afterwards, which looked like this.
Metal is the closest thing to rock and roll, and it'll always come back to this, you know? It'll always come back to sex and violence, and that's what rock and roll should be.
And that's the premise of The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years. The movie's Hollywood premiere attracted heavy metal veterans, avid fans, and the usual posers. It was directed by Penelope Spheris, no stranger to the music scene. She captured the punk music scene in The Decline of Western Civilization 1. But in the late 80s, Spheris says metal is where it's at.
I love metal, and I love all the kids in metal, and I love the people that were in the film, and, you know, I wanted to show them in a good light. Have you made a lot of money in your day?
Yeah, millions.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
Where is it now?
Went up my nose. I must have snorted up all of Peru.
The movie shows both the stars and the hopefuls.
Yeah, so I want to be a rock star.
Gonna be a rock star.
One of the performers is Megadeth, but band members say they don't like everything they see on screen.
A lot of kids in this movie are forcing the attitude and trying so hard to be this rock star attitude that it's so, you know, it comes off phony.
But if attitude is what it takes to be a star, some of the premieres say they have a definite reason for doing what they do.
It was always about girls, and more girls.
Women in hard rock are here to stay. We're going to make our dent. We're doing it hard. We're doing it heavy,
doubt.
and we're doing
Women
it right.
in hard rock.
Let's face it, I don't want to sell shoes. I don't. And if I don't do this, I'll be selling shoes.
The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, opened this week in LA and will open later this month in New York and other cities.
Wow, we need a break after that, huh?